Hey everybody, it's Officer Smith, Officer Stale with Animal Control, and Detective Joe Bear with the Mountain Police Department. We're coming today to talk to you about the question that was brought up on social media. It's involving leaving kids and animals in locked cars, especially as we come into the hot months of the year. Something we need to be aware of. Obviously, in a perfect world, we're not going to have this. Unfortunately, people aren't perfect and we all make mistakes. We want to do our best to stop these mistakes before they happen.
So let's start with kids. When it comes to leaving kids in a car, doing so does not automatically equal 911 and they're breaking the law. There is a specific code in Utah that applies to this, which says if you leave a child under 9 alone in a vehicle and the outside conditions present a threat of hyperthermia, hypothermia, or dehydration, you can be charged with a Class C misdemeanor. Now, your child doesn't have to be injured by those conditions. It just has to be possible that they could suffer from those. Obviously, if there are any injuries, that's going to fall under the child abuse statute, and whether it's done knowingly and intentionally, recklessly, or negligently. Now, when it comes to dogs or any animals in a vehicle, I'm not aware of a specific code that says you can't leave a dog in a car, if it would risk this condition.
There isn't a specific code. It does fall under animal cruelty, in which, under a subtext of the way you transport or confine an animal in a cruel or inhumane manner, which would mean leaving your dog in a car on a hot day, whether it be in the sun or in the shade.
So, but if the dog has water or food in the vehicle, the windows are rolled down, does that still constitute that? I mean, do we go for the heat index? How do we judge that as officers or citizens in regarding whether we call Animal Control or the police department?
You can call either or. I know a lot of people after hours will call the police department. During hours, call Animal Control. Even if there is food or water in the vehicle, that water still gets hot. So it won't do a whole lot for that dog if it's in the hot vehicle. Even with the windows cracked, there's still not a whole lot of ventilation, so it still gets really, really hot in the vehicle. Within 10 minutes, if it's a 70-degree day outside, within 10 minutes you could be over 90 to 100 degrees in the car.
Okay.
Actually, in the time-lapse video that opens this, I had a thermometer in that red car, and it went from about 75, 80 to 130 within 5 minutes, and that was on a 77-degree day. So things can creep up really quickly. So let's say we're trying to gauge whether we should call 911 or 298-6000 or break a window. Let's talk about that. We had that question come through on social media. It was one of those chain posts on Facebook. Hey, I've heard that if you take a picture of a dog in a car and a phone with the temperature on it, that you can then break the window with impunity and the cops can't charge you. Not that simple. If a window needs to be broken, it's probably best that we do it and we're able to justify why we're doing it. So let's apply that to when you would call 911 or 298-6000. Let's say, Smith, you and I get called to a dog in a car at Smith's Marketplace. What are we going to look for, and how are we going to enforce that?
Well, one of the first things we're going to look for is see if we can get in contact with the owner of the vehicle. In the event that we can't get in contact with the owner of the vehicle, all of our patrol officers are issued what's called a lockout kit. Same thing we use to open up the vehicle if somebody locks the keys in the car. We can use that along with calling Animal Control to come assist us in taking the dog out of the vehicle, and Animal Control has access to a database to help us also find the owner as well. The last thing we want to do, even though we have had to do before, is break out that window. So we're going to try to do everything we can first to mitigate that.
So investigatively, if someone were to call us solely based on seeing an animal or a kid in a car, we're going to get there and look at the situation. Is the car in the shade? Is it in the sun? Windows cracked? If you knock on the window, is a child or dog responsive to you? Are they lethargic? You're going to weigh all those things. Also, look at whether it's in front of a grocery store where someone might be in for a longer period of time, or maybe Costco. I don't know, people spend like forever in Costco, right?
Yes.
Forever in Costco. It's nuts. So we're going to weigh that with it as well. So if you want to know when to call 911 versus 298-6000, apply that equation in your head yourself and see what you think applies as far as that goes. If there's any doubt, just call the non-emergency number. If you're hesitant to call 911, call the non-emergency number. Very seldom will you ever be put on hold, or call animal control. What are the standard hours that you guys?
We are open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. The phone number's 801-444-2200. We do have after hours on call that come out on emergency situations, and a lot of times the police departments will call us out if needs be.
And if in the event you do happen to call 911, most of the time our dispatchers will redirect you to call the non-emergency line after they get a couple important information from you.
So, safe to say, dog or kid in car by itself, no other factors, automatic 911 call? Probably not.
Yeah,
Probably not.
no.
Probably not. So apply what we said to determine whether you think you should call us or call 911. Obviously, if the animal's or child is lethargic, unresponsive, call 911. We're going to get there pretty quick. And if you feel that something needs to be done to save someone or something's life, you can do that. Just be prepared to justify why you did it. But it's always safer just to call us. Let us handle the burden of responsibility and liability. So, in closing,
Don't take your dogs with you.
yeah,
Just remember, always check your back seat if you got kids in the car. We're all busy in life, but take that extra second to not make that mistake.
oh, well, not only that, but don't leave your kids in the car running. Someone
Yeah.
could steal your car. There was an Amber Alert last year where a guy stole a car with 2 kids in it, left it in front of a salon. So, I mean, that's another risk. There's a bunch of risks. It might be convenient to leave your kids in the car. Take them with you.
It's a nationwide issue. Don't just keep this message to yourself. Pass it along. Share our videos on Facebook. That way we get the word out there, because we don't want to see any deaths to any children, teenagers, adults, animals, you name it. It's not something we want to see. So do your part as well in getting the word out there.
So, just for fun, what's the weirdest thing you've had a call about being locked in a car on a hot day?
Locked in a car on a hot day.
A leopard gecko or something?
We've had snakes, geckos. I mean, you name it, it's been locked in a car and we've had a call on it.
Was there sand in the back seat, so it was like a giant terrarium?
No, but that would be cool.
No, it wouldn't be cool. Don't do that. Just make a proper terrarium.
I don't like snakes. Okay. I don't like them.
That's what we're here for.
Good times.